Yeah, baby.
3 points secured in the bag. That's what I'm talking about. Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. I know I read it in reverse order, but who cares? We got the win, and this is how you handle business. I'm starting to see maybe a little pattern with Liam Rosenior. Maybe the reverse Maresca? I mean, I don't know. Maresca, big game manager, but we were starting to drop a lot of points in these games that should have been must wins. Rosenior, we're handling these games where we need to be getting the points on the board that are must win matches, but the way we set up and big matches leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't know. Maybe it's early to say, but it's a little something I'm maybe noticing. We'll see how long that goes on for. But like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff, and let's get into the match. Now, first of all, not gonna lie, the way we started was not cutting it. It was not cutting it. We line up. I actually don't mind the team. The way they have this set up isn't quite accurate. Like, we do start with Palmer and Neto, Fernandez in the middle. I don't mind that. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer like Estevao or something. But Joao Pedro's been in good form. Caicedo Santos, good pairing. Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella is probably our best back line if Reece James can't start. And obviously, we know Levi Colwell. If I like Reece James in the midfield these days, honestly, anyway, so I don't mind this back line personally. But in reality, when we actually watch the game, Neto was really out on the right side. Palmer is more central, and Enzo, it's weird. He wasn't really playing left wing, but he was picking up like left 10 spaces in that half space. Him and Palmer were kind of like dual tens, but Enzo was drifting out more to the left. Neto was staying right, super wide, and Gusto was like inverting and overlapping. It was interesting because how that ended up playing out was that Gusto and Neto ended up occupying a lot of the same spaces. Like, one would go wide and one would underlap, or they would swap and Neto would come inside and Gusto would overlap. But in the end, when it came to like the final action, they were kind of both like, if they received the ball or something, they were kind of both getting each other's way. That's something we still have to figure out. That's why people often say, and I often say, Gusto and Neto playing on the same side is a little bit of a clash. Like, it fits more if Estevao or Palmer is out there. But to be fair, in this game, it wasn't the worst. I thought Gusto was solid in this game. He had some good passing movements. Neto, he wasn't terrible. I don't want to just hate on Neto just because that's the trend, but I thought he had some good plays. I mean, his action led to our first goal. I mean, obviously, Joao Pedro's hold up play, but him beating his man. But I will say, Bueno had his number on a certain amount of occasions too. They had a good battle. I would say Bueno won some of the duels, Neto won some of the duels, so a bit of back and forth there. But obviously, the way the game started, Wolves were spooking me. I was like, wait, hold up. Wolves, I mean, I know they're trying to turn around their season. They're low-key trying to not break that record for Derby, but they started, putting together some points in recent weeks, and it looks like they were trying to go get a point against us as well. And they were cooking. They were putting the pressure on us. We were on the back foot. Honestly, it was a little nerve wracking, but I didn't mind solely from the perspective that Chelsea, for whatever reason, and there's reasons we can get into, but that's another video. We play way better when we have less possession. It's just true. And if that's what it was going to take to beat Wolves, it wasn't going to be the end of the world to me. But we did start to regain some composure through our first goal with the penalty. Obviously, we could talk about it. Cole Palmer hat trick in the first half. This is what we want to see.
Yeah, baby.
Anything to get him back in some form. But we'll get to the rest of them in a second. The first one, I think Neto beats his man. He plays the ball across. It bounces back to Joao Pedro. And Joao Pedro, this game, you showed me. I mean, he showed this across the season. People just didn't want to talk about it because the GA was slacking off a bit. But he showed me in this game, even if you don't score a goal, the hold up play, the center forward play, he gets the ball in the box, he shields it well. He's going away from the goal. It's a reckless, it's just a necessary foul. Wolves honestly shot themselves in the foot more than us taking it from them, but well played from Joao Pedro, earns the penalty. Cole Palmer, automatic. absolutely automatic. You knew he was going to score that 1-0. And from that point, the game just opens up for Chelsea. Wolves had pretty much a lot of the ball up until that point. But once we scored that goal, we're pushing, we're pressing. Wolves just don't feel like their spirits. That's the thing when you're playing as poorly as Wolves have played over the course of a season, or your season just going that way, it feels like just the smallest thing can absolutely destroy your momentum, your spirit. We scored that one goal, and it just didn't look like they had it in them in the same way. And goes on to the second one. I think this one, Gusto plays a good ball over to Joao Pedro, and he just gets pushed in the back by Mosquera. I mean, it just was the most unnecessary foul once again. I don't understand what the thought process there was. He wasn't really in the most dangerous position. Even if he wins that ball, he's still kind of toward the edge of the box. Like, there's still room for you to recover. There's still room for another defender to come across. The angle is not the best. It really wasn't a necessary foul, but that's just, I guess that's just the story of Wolves this season. And bang, 2-0, Cole Palmer, guaranteed from the spot once again. And at that point, I'm like, okay, 2-0, let's go get a third because, we just want to see it out. Let's just guarantee this and make it real comfortable. And of course, Cucurella going down the wing, cuts it back at the edge of the area. Cole Palmer near the penalty spot, or maybe a little bit further in. Bang, top bins, 3-0, and that's a non-penalty goal, which is what I wanted to see. Penalties, amazing in terms. Let me not stop. I'm the one who would be like, bro, every game, friggin' Mbappe scoring a pen. Like, we got to chill out. But either way, penalties is good for someone like Cole Palmer, who's been out of form, coming back from injury, not playing at 100%, needs some confidence. Penalty is good to get your name on the stat sheet. And he had that recently too. But now, 2 penalties in the game, and you get an open play goal that looks more like your trademark finishing ability. That's how you start to build some momentum. Now, still, we don't want to overplay him if it means ruining like that chronic groin injury or whatever. But if it means when he does play, now he's playing with a little more confidence, a little more swagger, a little more aura. That's the Cole Palmer we want to see, because recently it's been looking like just a little bit of hesitation on the ball, and that little bit of hesitation is the difference maker from what makes Cole Palmer one of the most dangerous attackers in the world. They're just a pretty good, above average, slightly above average player. That's the difference maker, and we're starting to see that come back. First time shot, banger, and we take that 3-0. First half hat trick again from Cole Palmer, which that's crazy from him. And at that point, it was pretty comfortable. I mean, Wolves had their chances. Obviously, they end up scoring. I would have liked to keep a clean sheet. They score from a set piece, from a corner. The ball comes in, and honestly, this was really bad defending. Like, we should not have conceded this. We kind of I feel like everyone just kind of shut down. Just kind of looked like pedestrian, and we just let the ball fall to his feet. I think it was arokodare, and the ball falls to his feet. It kind of just sits there for a second. He gets all the time in the world to turn and get a shot off. I know Robert Sanchez was pissed, and he should be, honestly. That should not, with the amount of defenders that were around him, someone should have put in a challenge or at least got in front of him or made him work for it. He had all the time in the world. That was poor. There were a few more chances, but nothing crazy to speak about. I mean, I like that we took off Palmer. We got to protect him. We got his hat trick. He won us the game. Let's go and rest him. Let's not overwork him. Let's keep him fit if we can. The lap comes on. Achampong. Santos went off with a knock. Hopefully he's not serious. But yeah, that's a solid game. I don't even want to talk too much about it. I'm happy. 3 points. Let's see what this means moving forward, though, because United did win their game, which is a shame. Tottenham, I don't know what these guys are good for, honestly. Spurs, they help us out or something, bro. Like, y'all lost to everyone that we need you to beat to help us out. You keep losing to them. So, honestly, Spurs are disappointing in that sense. Villa, though. Villa drew the Bournemouth. That's interesting. Now, United are on their cheeks, and we're right behind United. So that's interesting. Obviously, Arsenal destroyed Sunderland. I mean, it's looking more and more inevitable at this point, but we're not going to talk too much about that. But let's look at the table real quick just to get a clearer picture. Obviously, Newcastle and Brentford are playing right now, so we'll see how that goes. But we're 1 point behind United. Here's the annoying thing. We both changed our managers, and we've both been on a winning run. But everyone's gassing United's winning run because the style of play has been way better. No one's really talking about Chelsea quietly on a winning run as well. Obviously, because they played City, Arsenal, Fulham, and then Spurs. So it's going to get talked about. We played Brentford, Palace, West Ham, and Wolves. We had a lot of London games in there, but I think still those are games that we would be losing in the first half of the season when we shouldn't have been. So I think that's a big turnaround for us. And honestly, that draw to Burnley ends up being the difference, and now we're 1 point behind them. But our goal difference is solid. So we can catch up to United. Just on goal difference, we're going to end up overtaking them in the table, which is what we need. Villa, though. Villa, we're talking about title race. Villa, Loki, they threw that away. The gap's widening, and United are on their cheeks. Now, all of a sudden, City, they got to win their game, and they're playing Liverpool. That's not easy. If City don't get a result there, all of a sudden United could be sniffing a second place finish, which is crazy. But hey, we're right there too. Let's talk about it. We're right there too. Liverpool, basically this Liverpool City game is going to determine a lot. If Liverpool win that game, they're right there. We're right there. United are right there. This top four race is crazy. If City win the game, that gives us some breathing room. And then that gives City a chance to still be in the title race. And the top four race kind of opens up a little bit with just us three, hopefully. But honestly, I'm rooting for City to win that game. Extend your gap from us and help us out with Liverpool. Honestly, that's my hope. But that's enough yapping. Like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. I'd be much appreciated, especially if you made it this far. And we'll be back very soon, Chelsea. We got some I think we have Leeds next. Another must-win game. Then Hull in the FA Cup must-win. Burnley must-win. And then the big game against Arsenal. So we'll be back. We'll be back for those games. And check it out soon. I should be releasing a J-League video if you're interested in that as well, because we're covering more football around here. But much appreciated once again. Peace.